Hello, hello to all my family and friends. It's the sanctified coupon lady showing the power of the coupon. It's me again. My throat is hurting, so excuse my voice. I don't know what's going on, but it sounded a little scratchy today. So on here today, I'm on here to talk about domestic violence, of some things that I went through while going through domestic violence. So I'm gonna tell you about something that happened when I was staying in this one particular shelter. It was a house shelter, and it was two houses connected to each other. One part of the shelter was where all the offices was at, and another part of the shelter is where we lived, and we had to share like a big old giant bedroom with another family. I was the only one at that particular time that had children, and I had three children. So we slept on the bunk beds, and we had a couple of single beds that we slept on. And I'm gonna tell you, those were the most meanest people at that shelter. Those workers, oh my goodness, they were so mean. I said, and God forgive me for saying this, but I don't ask God to forgive me a long time ago for this. I said, when I get out of this shelter, if I see any of these women on the street, I'm gonna just haul off and just hit them because they was just so mean. Everything I did, they just chastised me for it. And I didn't want to talk back because I didn't have anywhere else to go. So you not gonna give them too much lip. Whoo, boy. But I thank God, and thank God for the Holy Ghost too. So this one particular time, and the curfew, when I first started going there, the curfew was 9 o'clock. Well, because I wanted to go to church, they changed the curfew to 7 o'clock. Like, you can't even, you don't even have time to walk in the door to the church. It's time for you to turn around and come back out. So this one particular Saturday, they was having something at the church. So I went. Me and my children, we went, just having a good time. Da 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 da. I came back before 7 o'clock to make it so bad? And this was in the summertime. This wasn't in the wintertime. This was in the summertime. So it's still light outside later. So 7 o'clock was just broad daylight to me. So I'm walking because you had to park your car far away from the shelter, which I understood. I understood all of that. So and gets back to the shelter, start walking up the little ramp. These two ladies standing outside on the porch. Where you been? Where you? The workers. Where you been? What? I was like, excuse me, what do you mean where I've been? I didn't know I had to tell you where I'm going. I'm telling you that I'm leaving, but I didn't know I had to tell you where in particular I was going. So they was like, well, you supposed to call and let us know. I was like, oh, okay. I just went back in my room. So the next day, the head people called me. It was one lady called me into her office, and she's like, we've been having a lot of problems with you. So then, if we have one more problem out of you, we're gonna have to put you and your children out. How you gonna put me and my babies out of this shelter? I said, okay, fine. So I went back in on the table there was some mail. So she handed me my mail. So I went back in my room, and I'm just boohoo crying, just crying, 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 like, Lord, what am I do? Hey, Lord, what am I do? So the Lord was telling me to open up my mail. So I opened up the letter, and the first letter that I opened up, you have been accepted to such and such apartment complex. I was like, oh, yes, yes, yes. Me and my baby's moving out. We moving out. So went over to, got my letter, got in my car, drove over there. Boy, that was a bummer. They said you need this amount of money, this amount of money, and this amount of money. I was like, because you need the money to turn utilities on, you need the money for deposit, you need the money for the rent. But luckily, they went by your income, so it wasn't a lot of money. But when you don't have $10 is a lot of money. So the lady at the apartment complex, such a sweet lady, she told me where to go. So I went over to this. I think it was Lutheran Social Services. So went over there to Lutheran Social Services, and they said, well, we don't help people with this amount of money. I was like, well, I don't have anything else. I don't have any money. So this is all that I can do. This is the only place that I could come to try to get help. So they said, well, call us back at the end of the day. Call them back well, no, they called the shelter to have them, call me. So what I did, I didn't call from inside the building. I went to the payphone because I didn't even want them people to know what I was talking about. So they was like, you wouldn't believe this, but we have never done this before. We're giving you all the money. I was like, all the money. Yeah, yeah, we gonna move. We gonna move. We gonna move. We're moving out. We're moving out. I was just so happy. So my children, like I said, were at school on that day. I got my babies. We went back over to the apartment complex. I think the people must have sent the money over or something. I don't even know what happened. But she gave me my key. She gave me this, this, this. Okay, you can move in anytime you want to. We went back to the shelter. Ma, we moving out right now. We not gonna wait. Loaded up the car, moved right on over to that apartment complex. And I thank God. I truly thank God. God is just so good, and He'll open up doors that no man could close. So again, I want to thank you, and I really thank you for taking the time to listening to my videos, listening to me tell my stories about what happened to me during my domestic violence days, months, years that I went through. And I hope this helps somebody, knowing that God is able and God can bring you out. Don't don't try to do it yourself. Don't try to do it yourself. Let God handle it. Pray and pray some more and pray again. And when you think you done prayed enough, pray again. Again, it's the coupon lady, the sanctified coupon lady, showing the power of the coupon.